Let's take a look at how to identify atoms using the periodic table. Our goal with this little lesson is to be able to identify atoms using the number of protons, and then learning how to use the periodic table so that I can identify information about an atom. So the periodic table is a catalog of all the elements that we know of. And elements are atoms that have a certain number of protons. So by counting the number of protons, I can tell you what element I'm looking at. This atom here has 2 protons, 2 positive charges. And that's how I know that it's helium, because I can check the periodic table to see which element has 2 protons. So the periodic table of elements is a tool that chemists use to be able to get information about different atoms. And this is what it looks like. It starts with number 1 all the way in the top left, and then it goes on and on, going to higher numbers the further down I go, and the more to the right I go. And when I look at the way it's organized, these numbers are increasing. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the atomic number, or what's defined as the number of protons in that particular element. Now, I want to break down an element box so that you can see all the information that the periodic table gives. To start off, the number at the top is the atomic number. This is going to be the number of protons in the nucleus, the number of positive charges. This is the most important number for determining what element I'm looking at. And this number can also tell me about the electrons, because in a neutral atom, the number of protons and the number of electrons is the same. The symbol in the middle is the shorthand way of writing this element's name. This is silicon, and silicon's shorthand is Si. The first letter is always capitalized, the second letter is always lowercase. The number below the symbol is called the atomic mass, and this is how much an average atom of this element weighs. We'll spend more time on that coming up. And finally, at the bottom, you have the name of the element. In this case, we're looking at silicon. All of this information together allows me to learn a lot about this element. When I look at this box for silicon, I start at the top, and I can say that an atom of silicon has 14 protons. Or another way of saying it is all silicon atoms have 14 protons. I can look at the middle to see how I write silicon in short notation. I can look at that atomic number and know that for a neutral atom, I have the same number of electrons. And I know the average mass for a silicon. Now let's apply this to a different atom. What type of element is this atom? The first question I'm going to ask myself is, how many protons are there? I see 1, 2, 3 protons. Now I'm going to go to the periodic table and find element number 3. I'm looking at the top number. And I see that that is Li. That is lithium. Now, I know it's lithium because it has 3 protons. I also know that it's going to have 3 electrons when it's neutral. So, elements are defined by the number of protons. That number is called the atomic number. And the periodic table lists all the known elements, and we can use it to get more information about them.